Nothing comes into the life of a child of God by accident. God knows where we are and what we need in order to be effective in His service. Even in this very video, there's something different about it. Something caught your spirit before you even clicked. The moment your eyes caught the number 222 on the thumbnail, something stirred within you, urging you to click. That number is no coincidence. In the Bible, 2222 echoes divine timing and revelation, often tied to God's promise of unveiling hidden truths and aligning your path with His purpose. Isaiah 2222 speaks of the key of David opening doors no one can shut. Could it be that your spirit senses God is about to reveal your true power, the calling He's prepared for you? You were drawn here by a sacred appointment, not chance. Why did this message reach you now? What is God whispering to your heart? This video carries an anointed word to ignite your faith and confirm the time has come for your breakthrough. Stay until the end, as every moment is crafted to awaken your destiny. Hit like, subscribe to connect with chosen ones globally, and in the comments, share with a loved one you'd pass this message to. Let's unite in this holy moment and see God's plan unfold. The fire that has touched your life was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to mark you. Every rejection you endured, every door that slammed in your face, every betrayal that cut you deeply was part of a divine design. These were not random accidents of life. They were chisels in the hand of God, shaping your character, refining your spirit, and proving your authenticity as one who carries heaven's seal. You must understand this. Rejection was redirection. When people walked away from you, it was not because you were unworthy, but because you were too valuable to remain in their circle. The weight of your calling made some unable to carry you. God pulled you out, set you apart, and marked you by fire so that you would never confuse your destiny with the common paths of men. The blazing trials that forged your spirit served as the ultimate testing arena for your inner self. Countless evenings found you wondering why your heartfelt pleas seemed to vanish into silence, why opportunities stayed firmly shut, why those you relied on turned against you. Still, through every instant of crushing doubt, the heavens kept vigilant watch. No single drop from your eyes fell in vain. No fracture of your heart escaped divine notice. The intense heat you experienced wasn't punishment, it was cleansing. What appeared as the adversary's onslaught was actually the Lord's sacred forge, incinerating anything unfit to accompany you into the elevated realm of your calling. Psalm chapter 66 verse 10 confirms through David's words, "For you, O God, have tested us. You have refined us as silver is refined." Reflect on those instances you believed would shatter you completely. Recall the prolonged stretches when agony felt endless, when you murmured to the Almighty in the quiet of your space, "Why me?" The response concealed at the time stands revealed today. Because you were selected, because the mission tied to your existence demanded a resilience few could fathom. The suffering you overcame serves as undeniable testimony that eternity has poured its resources into you. Chosen one, your scars are not signs of weakness, but of survival. They are proof that you have passed through the fire and lived. Many others faced what you faced and gave up. Many allowed bitterness to consume them, but you, though bruised, did not break. That is why you are still standing. That is why the fire could not kill you. God's hand was over you the entire time, even when you could not feel it. Every rejection was a stepping stone. Every season of isolation was preparation. You were hidden, not forgotten. You were being prepared, not abandoned. The mark of fire on your life sets you apart from the ordinary. That is why you do not fit in with the crowd. That is why mediocrity feels suffocating to you. You were not made for the shallow end of life. You were forged in the depths of the fire for something greater. This blaze accomplished far more than mere purification. It permanently imprinted you with the unmistakable emblem of paradise. It scorched away layers of timidity, uncertainty, and counterfeit personas. It tore down every facade you once donned to gain approval from others. It exposed the pure, immovable fortitude buried within your core. Today, that fortitude radiates beyond dispute. Individuals who previously dismissed your potential will glance anew and behold a container defying human logic, a presence demanding attention. The inferno has rendered you impervious to the strategies of evil. Understand this. The enemy would not have attacked you so viciously if you were not marked. He saw in you what you could not yet see in yourself. He saw the seed of greatness, the spark of divine fire, the anointing resting on your life. And so he threw everything at you, betrayals, heartbreaks, disappointments, hoping to snuff it out. But he failed. You are still here. You are stronger, wiser, sharper, and marked by the very fire that tried to consume you. Listen closely as you cross the threshold into your upcoming chapter. The fiery imprint upon you will proclaim volumes without a single utterance from your lips. Others will detect it instinctively. Portals will swing wide because the blaze has set you distinctly apart. Environments will transform because the blaze has etched its claim upon you. You won't have to scramble for acknowledgement. The courts of glory have already heralded your arrival. The fiery imprint is your heavenly autograph. Chosen one. This is why you had to endure what others did not. This is why your story has been heavier than most. Because you were not meant to live as most do. You are heaven's refined vessel carrying the mark of fire that sets you apart for glory. And though you may have once cursed the flames one day, you will thank God for them, for it was the fire that revealed who you truly are, chosen one. The greatest battlefield you have ever faced has not been around you, but within you. The whispers of doubt, the storms of fear, and the relentless voice of unworthiness have been your fiercest enemies. The enemy knows that if he can conquer your mind, he can silence your destiny. That is why the struggle has been so intense. It was never just about circumstances. It was always about your identity. The battle within has been hidden from the eyes of others. They saw your smile, but they did not see your tears. They heard your laughter, but they never heard the nights you cried yourself to sleep. You carried wars in your soul that nobody else could fight for you. Yet through it all you endured. Through the storm of confusion you held on. Through the weight of despair you refused to let go. That endurance is proof you are chosen. Many questioned why you seemed different, why you couldn't live carefree like others. But what they did not understand is that the mantle on your life requires vigilance. You were not born to drift aimlessly. You were born to guard a calling, to protect a light, to carry a fire that terrifies the darkness. That is why your mind has been a target. Because if the enemy can drown your thoughts in fear and guilt, he can paralyze the power within you. The Spirit mentions in Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." You need to realize, chosen one, that your endurance in this battle is evidence of your power. The nights you thought would kill you actually crowned you with strength. The tears you shed watered the soil of your purpose. The doubts you wrestled with made your faith unshakable. The war inside you was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal the depth of your calling. Look closely at your journey. How many times did you feel like giving up? Yet here you are still standing. That is no accident. That is grace. That is divine preservation. The very fact that you have survived battles in your mind is proof that heaven's hand has never left you. If the enemy could have destroyed you, he would have done it long ago. But you are still here because God's plan is greater than the devil's schemes. Now hear this. Every chosen vessel must face the battle within. Why? Because before God releases you to influence the world, he first trains you to conquer yourself. A warrior who cannot win within will always fall without. That is why God allowed you to wrestle with inner storms, because he was strengthening you for victories far greater than yourself. Chosen one, stop despising your struggle. It has been your training ground. The confusion, the loneliness, the nights of questioning have all been tools in God's hands. You are not broken. You are being built. You are not lost. You are being aligned. The fire inside you burns because it was never meant to be contained. And though the enemy has tried to silence it with lies, your endurance has kept the flame alive. Chosen one, I ask you now to write in the comments, "I overcome." Type it boldly without hesitation, not as a ritual, but as a prophetic act. By writing those 2 words, you declare to the heavens and to the darkness that the war within your mind is already won. You are not just surviving, you are overcoming. You are not just holding on, you are rising. That declaration becomes your weapon, a reminder that you are no longer bound by fear, but empowered by faith. Understand this. Your words have weight. When you type "I overcome," you are aligning yourself with the truth of heaven. You are affirming that no matter what comes, your spirit will not bow. You are choosing victory over defeat, faith over fear, destiny over despair. And every time you see those words, it will echo back to you. You are an overcomer, chosen one. The battle within has not disqualified you. It has prepared you. You now carry empathy, wisdom, and unshakable resilience. You have learned to trust God in the silence. You have discovered His strength in your weakness. And most of all, you have proven to yourself and to heaven that your spirit cannot be broken. Stand tall. The war within has forged you into a warrior of light. No longer will doubt dominate your thoughts. No longer will fear dictate your steps. You are an overcomer, chosen and crowned by God. The battlefield of your mind is shifting into the ground of victory. And from this moment forward, you will not only endure, you will conquer. Chosen one. Power does not fall suddenly. It awakens slowly, like the dawn breaking through the night. For years, you may have felt unseen, unheard, and unnoticed, wondering if God had forgotten you. But the truth is, He has been working in silence, preparing you in ways you could not comprehend. What you thought was delay was divine development. What you called silence was heaven's secret work inside you. You must understand this. The authority you are about to walk in cannot be rushed, just as a seed is buried before it becomes a tree. Your power has been hidden before it is revealed. The waiting season was not punishment, it was protection. God did not allow you to rise before your time because premature exposure could have destroyed you. He was strengthening your roots before showing your fruit. Look back, chosen ones, and see how every detail has been perfectly orchestrated. The stretches when you felt hollow inside built unbreakable stamina in you. The connections that crumbled sharpened your ability to judge wisely. The chances that evaporated taught you to lean fully on divine provision. Every fragment of your history served as a rigorous boot camp for the commanding presence now surging up inside you. Not one footfall was squandered. Your entire path carried profound purpose. Each hardship was strategic training. The Word of God confirms in Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. Power is not handed to the reckless. It is placed in the hands of the steadfast. That is exactly why your concealed phase carried such weight. While others charged forward impulsively, you lingered in obscurity, questioning why your moment hadn't arrived. Yet the purpose shines through now. God was forging within you a core that no storm could rattle. He was laying a bedrock solid enough to support the weight of glory He plans to pour over your life. Chosen one, do not resent the gradual stirring of your strength. A flash that ignites too fast can flicker out, but a controlled blaze will warm the world for ages. Your reach will not be a brief flare. It will be an enduring beacon that guides multitudes. And even if the world still strains to grasp the depth you hold, the courts above already sing your praise. You are not begging for validation. You are locking into divine placement. Remember how often you pleaded, "When, Lord? How much longer do I hold on?" Those cries were never lost. They were catalogued in eternity's vault. Every syllable reached the throne. And now, celestial clocks are syncing with your readiness. The release of your authority is no coincidence. It is a scheduled encounter. You are entering an era where secrets surface, where silence breaks into proclamation, where the invisible bursts into radiant view. Chosen one, stay steady through the unfolding. Just as morning light eases in without forcing the stars away, your emergence proceeds with flawless, heavenly timing. God is guaranteeing that once your strength steps onto the stage, no thief can snatch it, no critic can shrink it, no opposition can mute it. Every ordeal you weathered has armored you against collapse. Every setback you outlasted has toughened your resolve. Every postponement you embraced has catapulted you toward an unveiling no force can halt. There will come a moment when people stare in awe at the command you wield. They will never grasp the unseen years that sculpted you, the midnight prayers, the battles with uncertainty and the quiet. They will witness only the finished work, but heaven remembers every detail. Heaven counts every sacrifice. Heaven recalls the furnace that perfected you, chosen one. Your power is awakening slowly because it is eternal. It is not a fleeting moment. It is a calling that will echo through time. This awakening is not just about you. It is about the generations that will be touched through your obedience. You are the answer to prayers spoken long before you were born. You are the fulfillment of promises made to those who came before you. Stand tall on this bedrock reality. You are not delayed, and you are not lagging. You are precisely on schedule, marching to heaven's drumbeat. The deliberate pace of your strength rising guarantees that when you claim the summit of your purpose, you will stand prepared, fully armed, and utterly immovable. The darkness may have stretched on, but sunrise has broken, and the brilliance of your assignment can no longer stay concealed, chosen one. Step into this chapter with bold assurance. Lean into the journey. Celebrate the preparation and gear up for the grand reveal. Your strength is rising not in panic, but in unbreakable might. And when it stands at full height, nothing in creation can derail what the Almighty has launched through you, chosen one. There is something extraordinary about your voice. It is not just sound, not just words strung together. It is a current of power, a vibration that stirs the unseen. When you speak, the atmosphere shifts. Your words are not ordinary. They are infused with the weight of your calling. Have you ever noticed how people pause when you speak truth from your heart? Even those who oppose you feel the force of it. That is not by accident. It is your divine authority beginning to flow. Picture your voice like a bold trumpet blast. A trumpet never murmurs. It slices straight through the chaos, rallying forces to stand tall. That's exactly what unfolds in the spiritual realm when you declare with unyielding certainty. The heavens take notice. Angels spring into action and shadows quake in response. The very voice you once lifted in quiet tears is now consecrated by heaven to proclaim liberty, inspiration, and purpose. But the enemy has tried to silence you. He wanted you to believe your words had no value, that your prayers reached no one, that your story carried no weight. He tried to convince you that silence was safer than expression. Yet here you are, still speaking, still declaring, still releasing truth. And with every word you release, you prove him wrong. Scripture says in John chapter 14, verse 27, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." No, chosen one. The world is desperate for the resonance of your message. Picture a lantern stuffed beneath a cover. It can't brighten the space. Envision a spring capped tight. It can't satisfy anyone's thirst. That's the loss when you hold back your sound. But when you unleash it, you turn into the beacon that banishes gloom, the source that revives the weary, the horn that rouses the sleeping. People you do not even know are waiting for the sound of your obedience. Your voice is not just for you, it is for those who will find life through your words. That is why I speak to you sincerely now. Let your voice be heard. Let it travel farther. Let it touch more lives. That's precisely why I reach out from the core of my being, urging you to amplify this brilliance. Forward this message so it can guide those lost in shadows. Hit like not to chase stats, but as a heavenly high five declaring your alliance with this reality. Follow not for my sake, but to stay plugged into the stream of divine insight pouring out for God's selected vessels. And if your heart feels led, consider sowing into this work. Think of it not as giving money, but as planting a seed in fertile ground. When a farmer plants, he does not lose. He multiplies. When you give, you are helping carry this voice further, reaching souls who may be one word away from transformation. You are watering the well that has refreshed you, ensuring it can refresh many more. Do not feel any pressure whatsoever, chosen one, because genuine giving always springs naturally from a place of deep love and heartfelt conviction, never from any sense of obligation or force. Even the tiniest seed, when surrendered willingly into the capable and mighty hands of God, holds the potential to carry profound and everlasting eternal significance that echoes far beyond the moment it is planted. If your spirit resonates with a resounding yes, then allow that seed to stand as a powerful and personal declaration of your unwavering faith. I fully believe in the transformative truth of this message. I stand firmly in belief for the glorious awakening of all God's chosen ones across the earth. Just as your voice is endowed with extraordinary supernatural power that shifts atmospheres and destinies, so too does your generous act of giving create ripples that extend far outward in ways you cannot even begin to imagine, touching and transforming countless lives you may never have the privilege of meeting face to face during your time on this earth, chosen one. This generosity is not merely a transaction. It is a sacred extension of the authority heaven has placed within you, amplifying the reach of your calling and ensuring that the light you carry penetrates the deepest darkness. Think back to the powerful voice of Moses as he courageously stood before the intimidating throne of Pharaoh in the royal courts of Egypt. It was not his smooth eloquence or persuasive rhetoric that ultimately shattered the chains of bondage holding an entire nation captive. No, it was the undeniable authority of Almighty God, flowing dynamically through every word he uttered under divine function. Similarly, consider Esther's voice when she risked everything to speak boldly before the king in the opulent palace. It was not her outward beauty or charm that ultimately saved her people from annihilation, but her fearless and timely declaration spoken in perfect alignment with heaven's plan at the precise moment appointed. In exactly the same miraculous way, your own voice has been meticulously prepared, honed, and anointed by God Himself for those critically appointed moments that are coming in your future, moments where your words will carry the weight to alter histories, free captives, and shift kingdoms. And just as these biblical heroes were divinely supported and upheld in the fulfillment of their monumental missions, so too must you be surrounded, sustained, and empowered by a faithful community that rallies around your calling. For no single voice, no matter how anointed, can echo across vast distances and pierce through every barrier without the collective strength of others to lift it, carry it forward, and propel it into the spheres where it is needed most. Your voice alone has the power to shake spiritual realms and dismantle strongholds. But when it is united with the voices of others, when it is intentionally shared, strategically amplified, and passionately echoed, it transforms into an unstoppable force that no opposition can silence or contain. Every single like you give, every share you initiate, every subscription you commit to, and every seed you sow is far more than simple support or casual engagement. It is an active and sacred partnership in the unfolding of God's divine purposes on the earth. Together in this holy collaboration, we are not merely disseminating information or content across digital platforms, we are igniting and spreading an unquenchable holy fire that consumes darkness wherever it touches. We are collectively constructing a powerful altar of worship and declaration where anointed voices rise up in perfect unity, and in response, heaven itself unleashes waves of supernatural power, signs, wonders, and breakthroughs that change everything. Chosen one, never for even a single moment underestimate the far-reaching ripple effect of your obedient actions, no matter how small they may seem in the natural. One simple share has the potential to deliver this life-giving word directly into the hands of someone who is teetering on the edge of despair, contemplating giving up entirely on their dreams, their faith, or even their life. One faithfully planted seed can sustain and keep this brilliant light burning brightly for countless others who are stumbling in darkness, desperately needing a glimpse of hope. One subscription ensures that you remain continually aligned and connected, never missing the divine timings and revelations that God is releasing specifically for you. Heaven is actively speaking profound truths into every area of your life right now. This movement is infinitely bigger than mere statistics, followers, or metrics. This is about the eternal salvation of precious souls, the activation of God-ordained destinies, and the meticulous fulfillment of heaven's grand and glorious master plan for this generation. Lift your head high with renewed confidence and royal dignity. Beloved chosen one, do not shrink back in fear, hesitation, or false humility any longer. Your voice has been forged by heaven as a mighty weapon of warfare in this pivotal generation, and the time has fully come for it to be released, heard across the nations, carried on the wings of faith, and multiplied exponentially for maximum kingdom impact. Speak with bold authority that comes from the throne room. Act with unwavering faithfulness in every opportunity presented. And rest in this unshakable knowledge. Every sound you release under the anointing sends shockwaves that rattle and reshape the unseen realms. Every single step of obedience you take sends reverberations that echo powerfully throughout all of eternity, advancing God's kingdom in ways you will only fully understand in glory. Chosen one. There are defining moments in every believer's life when heaven sovereignly chooses to release something fresh. Something unprecedented and something eternally significant directly into the depths of your spirit, igniting a fire that cannot be quenched. Right now, in this very instant, you are standing in the midst of one of those sacred and pivotal moments ordained before the foundations of the world. You may not yet feel the full intensity or magnitude of it surging through your veins, but make no mistake, a profound divine power transfer is actively taking place deep within the core of your being, shifting paradigms and elevating you to new dimensions of authority. God Himself is personally placing into your open hands a level of supernatural strength you never dreamed you could possibly carry. With such grace, divine wisdom, you never imagined you could articulate with such clarity and holy courage, you never knew you could walk in with such fearless resolve. This experience transcends mere fleeting inspiration or emotional motivation. This is a tangible, life-altering impartation straight from the heart of the Father, equipping you for the extraordinary assignments ahead. You have felt overwhelmingly weak at times, haven't you? Yes. There have been seasons where you seriously doubted your own capacity to continue to lead or even to stand. Yes, the weight of it all has brought you to your knees more than once, but here is the glorious truth. Heaven has never once measured your worth, your calling, or your potential by the moments of your human weakness or frailty. Heaven evaluates you solely by the immeasurable strength, power, and glory that He is sovereignly about to release and unleash into every fiber of your being, transforming you from the inside out. Think back carefully and honestly about how many times you stood at the absolute brink of surrender, ready to throw in the towel and walk away from it all, yet something inexplicable deep within your spirit rose up and propelled you forward against all odds and logic. That inner force was never merely your own willpower, determination, or grit. It was the very Spirit of the living God personally sustaining you, holding you together, and breathing fresh life into your weary soul when you had nothing left to give. And now, in this new season of acceleration, that same sustaining power is miraculously shifting and upgrading into a dynamic, empowering presence no longer focused solely on mere survival through the storms, but now thrusting you into realms of kingdom authority and dominion where you rule and reign victoriously. No longer just enduring hardships with gritted teeth, but walking in triumphant dominion that crushes every enemy under your feet and establishes God's kingdom wherever you go. Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5 states that, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations." It was proclaimed in 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Imagine an heir waiting to come of age. The inheritance was always theirs, but the release had to wait until maturity. That is what has been happening in your life. The inheritance of power has always been yours, but God had to ensure you were prepared to carry it. Now the time has come. The authority that once felt out of reach is being placed on your shoulders. The mantle that once felt too heavy is now fitting perfectly because heaven has been shaping you for this exact moment. Chosen one. You may feel ordinary, but you are anything but. What you carry is not natural. It is supernatural. When you walk into a room, you will no longer just be present. You will shift the atmosphere. When you speak, your words will no longer be empty. They will carry weight that pierces hearts. When you pray, your prayers will no longer just rise. They will shake the heavens and scatter darkness. This is the divine transfer you are stepping into. But hear this, with every transfer comes responsibility. You cannot receive this power and continue living as before. You cannot carry this mantle and still entertain doubt and fear. The Spirit of God is calling you to rise higher, to walk bolder, to live cleaner, to love deeper. The transfer of heaven is not just a gift, it is a commissioning. You are not being filled for your comfort, you are being empowered for your assignment, chosen one. This word is not just floating to you by chance. It is heaven's reminder that you are standing at a turning point. From this moment, your life will not look the same. The things that once intimidated you will now bow to the authority you carry. The challenges that once overwhelmed you will now become platforms for testimony. The battles that once drained you will now become opportunities for victory. The transfer of divine power makes you unstoppable. So I call you now to act in faith. Just as the prophets of old asked the people to respond with a sign of agreement, I invite you to do the same. Comment the number 22 below. Why this number? Because 4 is the number of stability, a foundation of God establishing His purposes on earth. By writing 2222, you are declaring, I am grounded, I am unshaken, I am established in God's power. It is not superstition. It is a prophetic act, a way of aligning your agreement with what heaven is releasing into you. Do not dismiss this moment as something small. Every time you act in faith, you activate something greater in the Spirit. When you comment 2222, you are not just typing numbers, you are testifying with your hands what your spirit already knows, that God's power is being transferred into your life right now. It is an act of surrender, of agreement, of claiming what belongs to you, chosen one. Let this truth sink deep into your soul. You are no longer weak. You are no longer bound. You are no longer hidden. You are stepping into the fullness of power that was always yours. You are not begging for authority. You are walking in it. You are not asking for permission. You are carrying heaven's mandate. The transfer is complete. The mantle is yours. The anointing is flowing, and nothing will be able to stop you. Lift your head, square your shoulders. Breathe in the strength of heaven and exhale every lie of fear. The power of God rests upon you now. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Walk in it. Speak with it. Live from it. And let the world see that when God transfers His strength to His chosen, no force in darkness can stand against them. Chosen one. When divine power begins to stir within you, something inevitable takes place. Chains start to break, not just the visible ones, not just the struggles others can see, but the hidden snares, the invisible weights, the unseen burdens that have followed your family for generations. The moment heaven begins to reveal your true power, every chain that once tried to limit you is forced to release its grip. You have felt these chains before. They showed up as repeated cycles, patterns you couldn't explain. You saw doors open only to slam shut. You felt yourself take 2 steps forward only to be pulled back 3. You questioned why freedom seemed close yet never fully in reach. What you did not realize was that much of what you fought was not even yours. It was the residue of battles from generations before you, chains that wrapped themselves around your bloodline, hoping you would never rise above them. But you chosen ones are different. You are the breaker in your line. You are the one heaven has appointed to end what others could not. The addictions, the failures, the fears, the sicknesses that seem to repeat through your family. These chains cannot remain on you. The light within you is too strong. The fire upon you is too consuming. What binds others must bow before the authority resting on your life. The voice of God thundered in Exodus chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. These chains are subtle. Sometimes they look like fear that never leaves. Sometimes they look like poverty that passes from parent to child. Sometimes they look like broken relationships that repeat generation after generation. They disguise themselves as just life, but they are not. They are chains crafted to keep you from walking into your full identity. But the moment God reveals your true power, they cannot hold you any longer. Chosen one. Think of the shackles on Paul and Silas in the prison. The iron around their feet seemed impossible to break. Yet when they lifted their voices in worship, the foundations of the prison shook and every chain fell loose. That is what happens when your power awakens. It does not just free you. It shakes the very foundation of darkness and causes chains around others to break as well. You will not just walk in freedom, you will carry freedom for those around you. Understand this. Some chains broke the moment you survived what should have killed you. Others are breaking right now as truth pierces your heart. And the rest will shatter as you step boldly into your assignment. You are not walking chained into your future. You are walking free, carrying the authority to set others free. The breaking of chains is not a moment. It is a movement that begins with you and ripples outward into generations yet to come. Chosen one. Your freedom is not selfish, it is generational. The battles you win today will be the victories your children never have to fight. The chains you break now will never again bind those who come after you. You are rewriting the story of your bloodline. What once seemed like a curse will now be remembered as the turning point, the moment when heaven chose one in the family to rise. And that one was you. Do you see it now? You were never just fighting for yourself. Every tear you cried, every prayer you prayed, every time you resisted giving up, you were pulling at chains that bound generations. And because you refused to let go, those chains are snapping under the weight of your persistence. The sound of breaking is in the air. The light of freedom is shining in your story. The power of God is flowing through you to dismantle what was never meant to hold you. Chosen one. Never again will you believe the lie that you are cursed. Never again will you bow to the illusion that your life is bound to cycles of failure. The chains are broken. The doors are open. The snares are destroyed. You are stepping into freedom not as a fragile survivor, but as a victorious breaker of chains. And everywhere you go, the authority on your life will cause more chains to fall. Walk boldly in this truth, you are free. Speak boldly with this authority, you are chosen to free others. Live boldly in this reality, chains have no power over you. From this day forward, the weight you carried is gone. The cycles you endured are broken, and the path before you is clear. The sound of freedom is your new song, and your story will forever testify that when God reveals true power, every chain must shatter. Chosen one. There is a crown being prepared for you, and it is not crafted of earthly gold or silver. This crown is woven with the jewels of endurance, each gem placed there by the hand of God through the trials you have endured. Every hardship, every storm, every season of pain was not in vain. It has added weight and brilliance to the crown you are about to wear. You have felt overlooked, as though your efforts were unseen, as though your struggles went unnoticed. But heaven has been watching with great care. Every step you took in faith, every decision you made to keep standing when it would have been easier to fall, has been recorded. Nothing has been wasted. Nothing has been forgotten. Heaven does not overlook endurance. Heaven rewards it. The apostle reminds us in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 25. Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. Think about the nights you could have given up, but didn't. Each one placed a jewel in your crown. Think about the moments you chose forgiveness instead of bitterness. Each one set another gem into place. Think about the seasons you walked in faith when fear screamed loud. Each step tightened the crown's band upon your head. You may not have seen it then, but every act of endurance was building something eternal. Chosen one. Crowns are not given cheaply. They are not for the faint of heart. They are reserved for those who have endured the furnace and come out shining. And that is you. You have walked through fire, and instead of being consumed, you have been refined. You have carried burdens that could have crushed you, but instead they strengthened you. You have endured trials that were meant to break you, but instead they have crowned you. This crown is not just a symbol. It is authority. When you wear it, you will carry the weight of heaven's recognition. People may not have celebrated you on earth, but heaven is preparing to honor you. The very crown being placed on your head is evidence that your race was not in vain. You did not endure for nothing. Every tear has been turned into a jewel. Every prayer has been turned into gold. Every sacrifice has been turned into glory. Chosen one. You must understand that the crown is not only for what you endured, but for who you became in the process. Endurance did more than keep you alive. It transformed you. It taught you patience. It deepened your faith. It expanded your compassion. It gave you wisdom no textbook could teach. These are the jewels that shine brightest in your crown, and they cannot be stolen, for they were forged in the secret places of your pain. Consider this, even now. Others look at you and cannot understand why you carry such peace after storms, why you walk with such strength after so much loss. They see the outside, but heaven sees the crown being shaped within you. They see a survivor, but heaven sees a victor. They see scars, but heaven sees jewels. And soon what heaven has seen all along will be revealed for all to witness. Chosen one, do not despise your endurance. Do not wish away the seasons of trial. They are the very things that have qualified you to wear this crown. Without the weight of endurance, the crown would not rest securely on your head. Without the fire, the jewels would not shine so brightly. Without the struggle, the reward would carry no meaning. You are being crowned not in spite of your pain, but because of it. The beauty of this crown is that it cannot be taken away. Earthly crowns fade, earthly titles pass, earthly recognition disappears. But the crown of endurance is eternal. It is anchored in heaven, sealed by God Himself and carried by you for eternity. Nothing can tarnish it, nothing can diminish it, nothing can erase it. It is yours forever. Chosen one. Lift your head. You may have bowed under the weight of trials, but now lift it in preparation for the weight of glory. The same head that carried burdens will carry a crown. The same shoulders that bore heavy loads will now bear honor. The same heart that broke in secret will now shine in triumph. The season of struggle is giving way to the season of crowning, so walk forward with assurance. Your crown is not a distant promise. It is a present reality being formed even now. Every breath you take, every step you make, every moment you endure adds brilliance to it. Soon you will see what heaven has been building all along, a crown of endurance glowing with the story of your survival, radiant with the testimony of your faith, and eternal in the glory of your God-chosen one. There are moments in life when you stand at a crossroads, when every step you take carries eternal weight. Right now you are at such a place. You can sense it in your spirit. This is not an ordinary season. You feel pulled between the comfort of the familiar and the call of the unknown. The familiar feels safe yet stagnant. The unknown feels terrifying yet full of promise. This tension is not confusion. It is confirmation that you are standing at destiny's edge. Do not mistake the silence of God for His absence. Sometimes He does not speak because the choice is already clear. He has trained your ears, refined your heart, and sharpened your spirit. Now He waits for you to act. The cliff before you is not there to paralyze you. It is there to push you into the leap of faith. Destiny will not unfold without your courage. Heaven has set the stage, but your obedience is the key to the door. The ancient words recorded in Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 19, resound, "I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life so that you and your children may live." Do you feel the urgency in those words? This is not a small decision. It is not about comfort or convenience. It is about life, about future generations, about eternal purpose. Your choice today will echo through time. Chosen one. You may think you are too small, too weak, or too broken to carry such weight. Yet heaven does not see you as fragile. Heaven sees you as a warrior standing on sacred ground, holding the pen that will write the next chapter of your story. The enemy has fought so hard to confuse you at this moment because he knows one act of obedience will unravel everything he tried to bind. Think about it. How many times have you felt this stirring before, only to retreat back into hesitation? How many times did you sense the call only to bury it beneath doubt? But now, heaven says enough. This time you cannot shrink back. This time you must step forward. The cost of hesitation is too high, and the reward of obedience is too great. At this crossroads, every distraction will try to pull you away. Fear will whisper, "What if you fail?" Comfort will plead, "Stay where it's safe." Pride will tempt. You don't need to change, but above it all, the Spirit of God is speaking. Choose life. Choose destiny. Choose the path I have set before you. Chosen one. This is the hour of decision. You are one act of faith away from seeing chains break, doors open, and promises fulfilled. You are one step of obedience away from stepping into the fullness of your identity. Heaven is watching, the earth is waiting, and the enemy is trembling. What you decide now will shape everything that comes after. Do not look back. Lot's wife turned and lost everything. Do not delay the Israelites, hesitated at the border of their promise and wandered for 40 years. Do not doubt Peter sank when he took his eyes off the one who called him. Instead, fix your gaze forward. Trust the voice that has never failed you. Step boldly into the unknown, for it is the ground of miracles. And now I invite you to make a declaration of faith. Type these words in the comments, "I choose life." Just 3 words, but they carry eternal power. When you write them, you are not merely responding to me. You are responding to heaven. You are declaring to yourself, to the unseen realms, and to future generations that you will not settle for death, despair, or defeat. You will walk in the way of life, blessing, and destiny. Do not underestimate this act. Words shape worlds. Your declaration today is a seed in the soil of your future. Every time you see those words, they will remind you that you stood at a crossroads and chose wisely. And just as Moses declared over Israel, heaven will declare over you, "This one has chosen life." Chosen one. The path may not be easy, but it will be worth it. The leap may feel terrifying, but it will be glorious. The choice may cost you everything comfortable, but it will grant you everything eternal. Stand tall at the edge of this crossroads and speak with faith. I choose life. For when you choose life, you choose destiny. When you choose life, you choose freedom. When you choose life, you choose the fullness of God's promise over your story, chosen one. When heaven begins to awaken your true identity, something unstoppable rises within you. Authority is no longer a distant idea. It becomes the atmosphere you carry. You will notice it in subtle ways. First, doors that once resisted you will open. Situations that once intimidated you will bow. People who once overlooked you will begin to listen. This is not arrogance. This is divine dominion manifesting in your life. Think of a lion walking through the savannah. The lion does not roar to prove its power. It simply walks, and every creature takes notice. That is the kind of authority you are stepping into. You will not need to strive or fight to be heard. Your presence will speak before your words do. Heaven has clothed you with a mantle that cannot be ignored. But authority is not about control. It is about alignment. True authority is when your spirit, your words, and your actions are aligned with heaven's will. That is why you have endured such a long process of refinement. God was not just preparing you to speak. He was preparing you to carry weight. Authority that is untested becomes dangerous, but authority forged in fire becomes unstoppable. The Word of God affirms in Luke chapter 10, verse 19, "I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and to overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you." These words are your inheritance. You are not stepping into borrowed strength. You are walking in given authority. The same power that raised Christ from the dead now operates through you. Nothing in darkness can prevail against that chosen one. When you walk in this unstoppable authority, you will see shifts not only in your own life, but in the lives of those around you. Your words will become like keys unlocking doors for others. Your prayers will become like fire, consuming obstacles that stood for years. Your presence will become like a lamp, illuminating paths for those lost in confusion. This is the evidence of authority that comes not from men, but from God. And now, let me speak to you sincerely, heart to heart. If this word has touched your spirit, if you sense the resonance of truth within it, then I ask you, do not let it stop with you. Share this message like a candle lighting another candle until the whole room shines. Press the like not as a casual click, but as an act of agreement, saying, yes, I receive this authority in my life. Subscribe not merely to follow, but to stay aligned with the steady stream of revelation God is releasing. And if your heart feels stirred to go further, consider sowing into this mission. Think of it like adding wood to a fire. The flame is already burning, but every log added allows it to grow brighter, to warm more people, to last longer into the night. Your seed, whether great or small, is not just support. It is fuel. It keeps the light alive, ensuring that countless others who feel forgotten will one day hear a word that revives them. Generosity, chosen one, is not about losing. It is about multiplying. Like a farmer scattering seed into fertile soil, what you release will always return in greater measure. Every donation becomes part of the testimony, a hidden act of partnership in the work of heaven. Do not think of it as giving to me. Think of it as building an altar where God's word can continue to burn brightly in this generation. You see, authority is never carried alone. Even Moses had Aaron. Even Paul had Timothy. Even Jesus surrounded himself with disciples. Every great move of God has always been sustained by those willing to stand behind it. That is what you do when you share, when you subscribe, when you sow. You become part of the living movement of heaven. Chosen one. Understand this clearly. Your unstoppable authority is not just about you. It is about the kingdom advancing, about light piercing darkness, about hope reaching the hopeless. Every action you take, whether a word spoken, a seed sown, or a share given, becomes part of that unstoppable force. And together we become like a river that no barrier can contain, flowing with the power of God into places we could never reach alone. So lift your head and walk with confidence. You are not small, you are not powerless. You are a carrier of unstoppable authority, chosen to manifest heaven on earth. And as you rise, do so, knowing you are not alone. An entire community of chosen ones rises with you, echoing the same truth, carrying the same fire, moving with the same unstoppable strength. Your time is now. Your authority is real. Your destiny is certain. Walk boldly, live fully, and let the world witness what heaven has already declared. You are chosen, and you are an unstoppable chosen one. There is a reason darkness has always reacted so violently to your presence from childhood. You may have noticed how hostility seemed to find you, how envy rose against you without cause, how people misunderstood you even when your intentions were pure. This was never about who you are in nature. It was about what you carry in the spirit. Your light terrified darkness. You may not always feel radiant, but your spirit glows with a fire that cannot be hidden. Every time you enter a space, the atmosphere shifts. Those bound by bitterness feel uncomfortable because your presence exposes it. Those carrying deception feel uneasy because your purity unmasks it without saying a word. Your very being disrupts what is false. This is the effect of light. It does not argue with darkness. It simply shines. And darkness has no choice but to retreat. According to what is revealed in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 18, the path of the righteous is like the morning sun, shining ever brighter till the full light of day. Do you understand why the enemy has always tried to silence you? It is because light reveals what darkness would prefer to keep hidden. Your words reveal lies. Your presence reveals motives. Your walk reveals the truth. This is why some people have reacted against you. They were not reacting to you as a person. They were reacting to the light within you that unsettled the shadows they carried. Chosen one, your light is not meant to make everyone comfortable. It is meant to expose, to reveal, to awaken. Sometimes that will draw others to you desperate for the warmth of what you carry. Other times it will repel those who cling to their darkness. Both responses confirm the same truth: your light is undeniable. Think of how a lighthouse stands on the shore. Ships in danger are drawn to its glow, guided to safety. But predators in the dark waters despise it, for it ruins their cover. That is you, a lighthouse. You cannot control who loves or hates your light, but you must continue to shine. Your assignment is not to please the darkness. It is to reveal the way for those searching for hope. Chosen one, do not shrink your brightness to fit the comfort of others. Some will say you are too much, but what they really mean is your light unsettles the shadows they refuse to confront. You were not created to dim, you were created to disrupt. The fear you sense in others is not really about you. It is about what your presence awakens in them. Remember, Jesus himself declared that his followers are the light of the world, a city set on a hill that cannot be hidden. That is you. You cannot be hidden. No matter how much you tried in the past to blend in, your destiny is not in the shadows. It is on display. Every time you try to cover your light, God gently removes the covering because he did not place that brilliance in you for it to be concealed. Chosen one. The opposition you face is proof of your power. Darkness only attacks what threatens it. The constant resistance you feel is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength. If your light carried no power, the enemy would have left you alone long ago. The fact that he has fought you this hard is evidence that your light is a weapon against his kingdom. Chosen ones, lift your eyes and see yourself clearly. You are not fragile. You are not insignificant. You are a blazing torch in a dark generation. Your very existence is a threat to the powers of darkness. Walk with this awareness, not in pride, but in confidence. When you enter a room, know that light has entered. When you open your mouth, know that the truth has been spoken. When you live authentically, know that chains are breaking. Even if you do not see it, do not fear the reactions. Do not fear the resistance. Both are confirmations of your calling. Shine with boldness, walk with clarity, live with the assurance that you are God's chosen light. And no darkness can overcome you, chosen one. Your path grows brighter still. The dawn is not behind you, it is before you. And as your light shines, others will rise with you, emboldened by your glow, inspired by your courage, and awakened by your presence. You are not just surviving in the shadows. You are leading others into the light, chosen one. A mantle is not something you can buy, earn through human effort, or steal from another. A mantle is heaven's covering placed by the hand of God himself, signifying that you have been chosen to carry weight in the Spirit. Right now, heaven is draping a mantle over your shoulders, and it is heavier than anything you have carried before, not because it will crush you, but because it will expand you. You may not feel ready. You may even argue with God in your heart, saying, "Why me? Why not someone else?" But the mantle never falls on the ones who look qualified. It falls on the ones who have been forged in fire, tested in secret, and proven faithful when no one was watching. That is, you, chosen one. Heaven has watched your endurance, your tears, your persistence, and now declares the mantle belongs to you. The ancient words recorded in 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 19 remind us. Elijah went up to Elisha and threw his cloak around him. That moment was not casual. It was a transfer of assignment, identity, and authority. In the same way, a cloak from heaven is being placed upon you now. It is more than honor. It is responsibility. It is not about recognition. It is about mission. You are stepping into the shoes of one called to change atmospheres and influence generations. Chosen one. This mantle means you can no longer live as you once did. The games of yesterday cannot distract you. The comfort of passivity cannot hold you. When a soldier receives his armor, he cannot return to civilian life. When a prophet receives the mantle, he cannot pretend to be ordinary. You have crossed a line. The covering of heaven now rests upon you, and nothing can remove it. Do not fear the weight. The same God who placed the mantle on you will give you strength to carry it. Think of Elisha. He was only a farmer plowing fields when Elijah found him. Yet when the cloak fell, he became a prophet whose miracles shook nations. It was not Elisha's background that qualified him. It was his willingness to surrender to the mantle. That is all God asks of you: surrender. Yield yourself to what he is placing on you and watch as his power flows through you. This mantle is not for display. It is for impact. When you walk into a room, the covering of God will speak before you utter a word. When you lift your hands to pray, heaven will respond differently because the mantle carries authority. When you declare truth, hearts will tremble not because of eloquence, but because of the weight behind your words. That is the effect of a mantle. It shifts the unseen world around you. But hear me clearly, chosen ones. Mantles are costly. They require sacrifice. Elisha left his fields, burned his plows, and sacrificed his oxen. He could not carry the mantle while clinging to his old life. In the same way, you cannot wear this mantle while holding on to fear, doubt, or compromise. To fully step into what God is giving you, you must release what no longer belongs to you. Chosen one. The mantle falling upon you is unique. It is not a copy of someone else's. It is tailor-made for your calling. Do not compare it. Do not measure it against another. What God has for you is distinct, fashioned perfectly for the mission He designed you to fulfill. Trust that He knew exactly what He was doing when He chose you. And now, I ask you to seal this moment with an act of faith. Write in the comments the number 555. Why this number? Because 5 is the number of grace, and triple grace signifies fullness, abundance, and divine empowerment. By typing 555, you declare, I receive the mantle of grace. I will not resist it, and I will carry it with faith. This is not just digits on a screen. It is a prophetic agreement, a sign that you embrace what heaven is placing upon you. When you write 555, you are testifying in the spiritual realm that you accept the mantle not reluctantly, but boldly. You are saying yes to the weight, yes to the responsibility, yes to the calling. And heaven takes notice of such declarations, sealing them with favor. Chosen one. This is the turning point. The mantle upon you is not temporary. It is permanent. It is not symbolic. It is real. It is not light. It is glorious. Walk forward with confidence, for heaven has chosen you to wear what many desire, but few are trusted to carry. You are mantled. You are marked. And you are unstoppable. Chosen one. You must know this truth: you have never walked alone. Though the battles raged, though the nights felt long, though you questioned whether anyone understood the weight you carried, heaven has always assigned help to your journey. Even now, angels stand beside you, stationed not because of your strength, but because of God's command. You may not see them with your eyes, but you have felt their presence. Remember the times you should have been destroyed, but somehow survived. That was no coincidence. Remember the near accidents you avoided, the moments of danger that suddenly shifted the times when peace surrounded you in the midst of chaos. Those were not accidents. Angels were near, carrying out the will of the Father concerning you. The Word of God declares in Psalm chapter 91, verse 11, For He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. These words are not abstract. They are your reality. Every step you take, every place you enter, you are not unprotected. You are accompanied by messengers of heaven, warriors of light, who shield you from unseen harm. Chosen one. Understand this clearly. Angels are not sent because you are fragile, but because you are valuable. The more significant your assignment, the heavier the guard placed around you. Kings of old traveled with armies not because they were weak, but because they carried weight for nations. In the same way, you carry weight for heaven. And that is why angelic armies surround you. Do not imagine them as distant figures hovering idly. Angels are active. They wage war in the unseen realm, intercepting schemes that were meant to crush you. They whisper strength when your spirit grows faint. They push back darkness when you feel surrounded. They are heaven's assurance that your story will not end prematurely, that your destiny will not be aborted, that your assignment will not be silenced. Chosen one. Think of Daniel in the lion's den. The mouths of the lions did not close by chance. An angel shut them. Think of Peter in prison, bound in chains between guards. His release did not come by human effort. An angel struck his side, broke the chains, and led him out. What happened then is still happening now. The same God who sent angels to his prophets, apostles, and servants sends them to you. This is why some dangers never reach you. This is why some attacks failed before they even touched you. Angels intervened. You may not see the battles they fight, but you reap the safety of their victories. You may not hear their wings, but you feel the shelter of their presence. Chosen one, do not fear when darkness surrounds you. Do not tremble when enemies rise for you. Do not stand alone on the battlefield. Even if people abandon you, heaven's army does not. Even if you are misunderstood by men, you are known by angels, and they are not just near you. They are for you, committed to your mission until the very end. There is a reason you feel unexplainable strength in moments of weakness. Angels strengthen. There is a reason you receive sudden clarity in moments of confusion. Angels minister. There is a reason doors open with supernatural timing. Angels act on divine orders to align you with destiny. They are not passive. They are active participants in God's plan for your life. But remember this, they do not serve your will. They serve God's. That is why alignment with heaven is vital. The closer you walk with God, the freer the angels are to operate on your behalf. They are drawn not to pride or rebellion, but to obedience. When you walk in surrender, heaven's armies surround you more visibly because your steps align with the path they are commanded to guard. Chosen one. Even now, angels are preparing ways before you. Some are stationed to protect others, to guide others to war on your behalf. You may not see them, but their assignments are unfolding around you daily. And one day when you look back, you will realize how many times your life was saved, redirected, and strengthened by their hidden presence. So walk with boldness, knowing that you are never unguarded. When you step into new territory, angels go before you. When you rest, angels stand watch. When you rise to speak, angels surround your words with power. You are never alone. Heaven has assigned armies to your life because heaven has assigned purpose to your life. Chosen one, let this truth settle deep within you. You are protected. You are accompanied. You are never forsaken. Angels stand beside you now, just as they have always done, and they will remain until your race is finished and your crown is received. Their presence is your assurance that no matter how fierce the battle, you will make it through. Chosen one. There are doors in your life that have long remained shut. Some doors of opportunity, others of relationship, others of influence and breakthrough. You stood before them. You prayed before them. You even knocked with all the strength you had. And still they refused to open. For a time it felt as if heaven was silent, as if your destiny was locked away behind barriers you could not cross. But hear this truth. Not all closed doors are rejections. Some doors are shut to protect you from what would harm you too soon. Others are locked until you are strong enough to carry the weight of what lies on the other side. Heaven has never forgotten the desires of your heart. It has simply been aligning the timing. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah in chapter 22, verse 22. What he opens, no one can shut, and what he shuts, no one can open. These words reveal the authority of your God. No chain, no gate, no lock forged in darkness can resist his command. When the appointed time arrives, the same doors that defied you for years will swing wide at a single word from him. Chosen one, understand this. Your waiting has not been wasted. The years you spent standing before closed doors were years of preparation. The strength you built in patience is the strength you will need to carry what is opening now. The humility you learned in hiddenness is the character you will need when honor comes. The trust you developed in silence is the faith you will need when the noise of blessing surrounds you. There are doors about to open that you did not even know existed. They were hidden, preserved for a moment such as this. When they open, you will realize why every lesser door had to remain shut. Had you walked through them too soon, you would have settled for less than what heaven ordained. The delay was never denial. It was direction. Think of Joseph. For years he faced closed doors, betrayed by his brothers, forgotten in prison, overlooked by those he helped. But when heaven's timing arrived, Pharaoh himself opened the door to the palace. One moment of divine alignment erased years of delay. That is the kind of door God is about to open for you, one that shifts everything, one that explains every waiting season, one that confirms you were never forgotten. Chosen one. Some of these doors will surprise you. You will find yourself standing in places you once thought impossible. Connections you could not have orchestrated will fall into place. Opportunities you did not chase will come seeking you. This is not luck, it is the orchestration of heaven. Doors are opening not by your striving, but by God's decree. And when these doors open, they will not creak halfway, they will swing wide. No one will be able to shut them. No voice of jealousy, no attack of the enemy, no scheme of man will close what heaven has unlocked. You will not need to force them, you will simply need to walk through them. Chosen one. Prepare yourself. Open doors come with responsibility. They are not for your comfort, but for your calling. When the doors open, walk humbly, remembering the seasons of waiting. Do not forget the lessons you learned in hiddenness. Carry the same faith that sustained you in silence, for it will keep you steady when visibility increases. The open door is not the end of your journey. It is the next chapter of your assignment. Do not fear the doors that remain closed. Trust the God who shuts and opens. If He closed it, it was never meant for you. If He opens it, no one can take it away. Let your heart rest in this assurance. Heaven holds the keys and heaven's timing is perfect. Soon you will testify that doors you once begged for have opened of their own accord. You will see with your own eyes that God wastes no delay. You will walk through spaces that once felt impossible and know beyond doubt that it was not your hand, but His that turned the lock. Chosen ones, lift your head with expectation. The doors are opening. The season of standing outside is ending. The time of waiting is giving way to the time of walking through. And when you cross the threshold, you will carry not only your own destiny forward, but also the light of heaven for those who follow behind you. The sound of opening is near. The hinges are turning. The gates are swinging wide. And you, beloved, chosen one, are stepping into the places heaven reserved for you all along. Chosen one. There is glory written over your life, and no shadow can erase it. You were not born to blend into the background. You were set apart to carry a crown. The crown is not just a symbol of honor. It is a testimony of battles fought, trials endured, and victories won. You did not arrive here without scars, but those very scars are the jewels that make your crown shine. Think of a crown carefully crafted by a master jeweler. Every gem is cut from stone, refined in fire, polished with patience, and then set into its rightful place. That is what God has been doing with your life. Each season of pain carved something out of you. Each delay polished your character. Each storm set another gem into place. Now the crown of glory is ready, and it fits only you. The Apostle Peter wrote in 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 4. And when the chief shepherd appears, you will receive the crown of glory that will never fade away. This is the promise over your life. Chosen one, your crown is not temporary. It will not rust with time or fade with circumstance. It is eternal, woven with the glory of God Himself. But a crown is not given to those who sit idle. It is given to those who endure, and you have endured. You have walked through valleys where others gave up. You have stood in storms that toppled others. You have held on to hope when everything around you whispered despair. That endurance has not gone unnoticed. Heaven has recorded it. And now, heaven crowns it. Chosen one. Glory does not mean ease. Glory means weight. The word itself carries the sense of heaviness, of significance. To be crowned with glory is to be entrusted with influence that will outlast you. It means your life will shine not only for your sake, but for the sake of many who will find light in your story. Your crown is not ornamental. It is functional. It is a beacon for others, a testimony that God still raises the humble, still restores the broken, still crowns the faithful. And so, let me speak to you with sincerity. If this message is stirring your spirit, do not keep it to yourself. Share it like the spreading of light from one torch to another until the darkness around you begins to glow. Press light not for my sake, but as a declaration that you are ready to walk with your crown. Subscribe not as a routine, but as an act of alignment, choosing to stay connected to the stream of words heaven is pouring into your life. And if your heart is moved deeper, consider sowing into this work. Think of it as adding gold to the crown. A crown without precious metal is incomplete, but every seed given adds weight, adds brilliance. Durability. Your giving is not about loss. It is about investment into eternity. Just as a tree planted by a river grows and offers fruit to countless generations, so does your generosity. It ensures that this word does not stop with you, but continues to reach those who are desperate for light. Do not think any act is too small. Even the widow's 2 coins became a story of eternal honor because they were given with faith. Your seed, whether great or little, carries the same fragrance of sacrifice. It becomes part of the testimony of heaven's movement in this generation. Together, we are not building monuments for man. We are building crowns of glory that reflect God's majesty. And now I invite you to seal this moment with a declaration of faith in the comments, I choose my crown. These 4 words are not casual, they are prophetic. By writing them, you declare that you refuse to live beneath your destiny any longer. You refuse to walk without the honor heaven has prepared for you. You accept the crown not in pride, but in humility, knowing it was forged through fire and gifted by grace. Think of a runner at the end of a race. He does not run aimlessly. He runs for the crown. Think of a soldier returning from battle. He does not fight without purpose. He fights for victory and honor. In the same way, your declaration, I choose my crown, is you saying, I will finish my race. I will complete my fight. I will wear the glory God has promised me. Chosen one, your crown is waiting. Do not let doubt talk you out of it. Do not let fear make you forfeit it. Do not let distraction cause you to forget it. Lift your head high, not because of pride, but because you are crowned. You are chosen for glory, marked for destiny, set apart for honor. The weight on your life is not a burden. It is a crown. Wear it boldly, live it fully, and let the world witness the brilliance of God shining through you. Chosen one. There comes a moment when heaven begins to unveil mysteries that were hidden for generations. These are not secrets kept from you. They are treasures reserved for you. The God who formed you in your mother's womb has always known the role you would play in this generation. And now, like a scroll being unsealed, He is revealing the deeper truths of who you are and what you are called to do. Mysteries are never revealed casually. They are entrusted to those who have endured, who have proven faithful, who can be trusted with weighty revelation. That is why the process has been long for you. Heaven could not reveal everything at once. The light of your destiny would have blinded you if unveiled too early. But now, step by step, layer by layer, the unveiling has begun. The Apostle Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9, "What no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, and what no mind has conceived, the things God has prepared for those who love Him. This is the mystery being unveiled in you, chosen one. No one around you can fully understand it because it has never been seen before. No ear has heard the exact melody of your assignment. No human imagination can capture the depth of what God is about to unfold through your life. Chosen one. Mysteries are not only about knowledge, they are about identity. The questions you carried in silence. Why am I different? Why have I suffered so much? Why do I feel things so deeply are being answered now? The very traits you once despised in yourself are revealed as instruments for your assignment. Your sensitivity is discernment. Your scars are testimonies. Your isolation was preparation. Everything is being unveiled as part of a larger design. Think of Joseph, who could not understand his dreams as a boy. They were fragments of a mystery. Only when he endured betrayal, slavery, and prison did the full picture emerge. He was chosen to preserve nations. In the same way, your life has carried fragments, moments that felt disconnected, seasons that seemed meaningless, but now heaven is pulling them together, unveiling the masterpiece, chosen one. Mysteries also come with responsibility. Once God shows you who you are, you can no longer pretend to be ordinary. Once He reveals the authority you carry, you can no longer live passively. Revelation demands response. The more you see, the more you must step into alignment with what has been revealed. That is why some revelations come slowly, because each one requires a choice, a shift. But take courage. God does not reveal mysteries to overwhelm you. He reveals them to empower you. When Daniel was shown visions of kingdoms rising and falling, he was not left to carry the weight alone. Heaven strengthened him, gave him understanding, and confirmed his role. In the same way, God is unveiling mysteries to you, but He will also supply the wisdom and strength to walk them out. Chosen one, understand that revelation often comes in whispers, not in shouts. Pay attention to the small nudges, the dreams, the words that stir your spirit. These are pieces of the mystery. Do not dismiss them as coincidence. Write them down, hold them close, and watch as heaven weaves them together into clarity. The more attentive you are, the more God will reveal. You are not just a receiver of mysteries, you are a carrier of them. People will look to you for answers they cannot find elsewhere. Your life will be a key to unlock questions in their hearts. The wisdom that flows from you will not come from books or teachers, but from the Spirit of God, unveiling truth through you. That is why your words will carry such weight, because they are birthed in revelation, not opinion. Chosen one. Do not fear the magnitude of what is being unveiled. You were created for this. Just as a lock is designed for a specific key, your spirit was designed to hold these revelations. You will not collapse under them. You will rise with them. The unveiling is not to burden you, but to crown you with clarity, purpose, and divine authority. The mystery of your life is that you were always meant to be more than you imagined. You are not just surviving history, you are shaping it. You are not just enduring trials, you are interpreting them. You are not just receiving promises, you are carrying out prophecies. This is the unveiling of your true role in this generation. Chosen ones, lift your eyes and see. You are not walking blindly anymore. The scroll is opening. The light is shining. The mystery is unfolding. What once confused you now makes sense. What once seemed wasted now reveals its purpose. And what once felt hidden is now being unveiled as the very key to your destiny. Chosen one. The time has come for you to rise into the fullness of the power that has always been written over your life. This is not the beginning of your story, nor is it the end. It is the unveiling of what heaven prepared before you ever took your first breath. You are stepping into the reality that you are unshakable, unstoppable, and unbreakable, not because of your strength, but because of the one who called you. Look back for a moment. Every valley you walked through, every storm that tried to sweep you away, every chain that once bound you, it all led here. The pain did not destroy you. It prepared you. The rejection did not define you. It refined you. The silence of God did not abandon you. It trained your ears to hear His whisper. Every fragment of your past has become the foundation for the power you now carry. The Word of God declares in Philippians chapter 4, verse 13, I can do all this through Him who gives me strength. And chosen one, rising into your full power does not mean arrogance. It means alignment. It means standing tall in the truth of who you are, no longer shrinking to make others comfortable, no longer doubting what heaven has spoken, no longer hiding the brilliance of your light. To rise is to embrace the mantle, to step into your crown, to walk through the open doors, to carry the authority given to you without hesitation. Do you realize what this means? You are not stepping into a borrowed destiny. You are stepping into your own. You are not walking in someone else's shadow. You are shining in your own light. The heavens have invested too much in you for you to remain silent. The generations before you endured so that you could rise. The generations after you will walk freer because you said yes. Your life is not small. It is a link in heaven's eternal chain of glory. Chosen one, you will feel the shift. Where once you trembled, you will now stand firm. Where once you hesitated, you will now move boldly. Where once you questioned, you will now declare with confidence. This is what it means to rise into full power. It is the transformation of the hesitant into the fearless, the wounded into the warrior, the hidden into the revealed. Remember, power is not for self-exaltation. It is for impact. When you rise, others rise with you. When your light shines, it awakens the light in others. When you walk in authority, it breaks chains for those around you. Your power is not yours alone. It is a river meant to flow outward, carrying healing, freedom, and hope. You were chosen not just to rise, but to lead others into rising. And yet, do not mistake rising for ease. With power comes opposition. With light comes resistance. But you are not afraid because you now know who fights for you. You are not shaken because your roots are deep. You are not discouraged because your eyes are fixed forward. The storms will come, but they will not move you. The shadows will approach, but they will not consume you. You are anchored in eternity, and nothing can uproot you. Chosen one, your future is not dim in any way. It shines with an extraordinary radiance that illuminates every path ahead. The most glorious and fulfilling days of your entire life are not tucked away in the past, leaving you to reminisce. No, they are unfolding right before you, waiting to be embraced in all their splendor. The grand unveiling of your true inherent power signals the thrilling commencement of a transformative chapter in your story. One that will resound powerfully with triumphant victories, inspiring personal testimonies that will touch countless hearts and remarkable breakthroughs that shatter every limitation. In time, you will pause to look back over the winding road you have traveled, and you will stand in absolute marvel at how every single step, every trial and triumph suddenly makes profound and perfect sense when viewed from the exalted summit of your achieved destiny. So rise up now, not in a timid or hesitant manner, but with bold and unyielding determination, not offering apologies for your existence or your calling, but stepping forward with unshakable confidence. Not as someone filled with doubt or uncertainty, but as one who has been divinely selected and anointed for greatness. You are the living fulfillment of fervent prayers that were whispered in faith long before your birth even occurred. You stand as the long-awaited answer to the desperate cries and pleas uttered by generations of ancestors who longed for such a breakthrough in their lineage. You are the carefully prepared vessel that heaven itself has crafted and positioned precisely for such a pivotal time as this in history. Rise fully into the completeness of your God-given power, chosen one. For the entire earth is eagerly anticipating your emergence and the impact you will make. Heaven above is attentively watching every move you take with joyful expectation, and your predestined purpose is calling out to you with an irresistible and urgent voice that demands your response. Chosen one. You have courageously journeyed through the intense fires of adversity that tested your resolve, endured the relentless storms that battered your spirit and threatened to overwhelm you, and stood fearlessly at the very edge of the cliff overlooking your ultimate destiny, teetering yet unbroken. And now, in this moment of clarity, the profound truth becomes unmistakably evident. You are not ordinary in the slightest, and you never truly were from the very beginning. Heaven has distinctly marked you as its own, refined you through every challenge to purify your character and strength, crowned you with honor and authority that cannot be diminished, and finally unveiled you to the world in your full glory. Every single step along this arduous yet purposeful journey has been meticulously designed to awaken and activate the eternal truth that has always resided deep within the core of your being. You are chosen by divine decree, and you are empowered with a might that surpasses human understanding. Carry this unassailable truth with you wherever you go, embedding it deeply into your heart and mind. Your scars, far from being sources of shame or regret that you might hide away, are in fact precious jewels meticulously embedded in the crown of your victory and legacy. Your battles, rather than serving as mere evidence of any perceived weakness or failure, stand as irrefutable proof of your extraordinary inner strength and resilience. Your steadfast endurance through it all is not going unnoticed or unappreciated in the grand scheme. It is being joyfully celebrated with great fanfare in the courts of heaven itself. You walk forward not as one who is uncertain about your path or your worth, but as one who fully knows and rests in the assurance that the mighty hand of God rests firmly and protectively upon every aspect of your life. The days that lie ahead may still hold moments of struggle and opposition, testing your faith anew, but they will never, under any circumstances, be devoid of ultimate victory and triumph. For the very same God who has faithfully walked alongside you through every dark valley of sorrow, doubt, and hardship will continue without fail to walk right beside you in the journeys yet to come. His Holy Spirit will serve as your infallible guide, leading you with wisdom and insight into all truth. His angels will act as your vigilant guard, surrounding you with divine protection against every threat. His unbreakable promises will form the solid and unyielding foundation upon which your entire life is built. You are never even for a single instant alone in this world, and you will never be forsaken or abandoned by the one who called you, chosen one. Rise each and every morning with the profound certainty that your life carries eternal weight and significance in the grand tapestry of God's plan. Speak with the full authority that has been granted to you from on high, declaring truths that shift atmospheres. Live with unquenchable courage that inspires others to follow suit, and move forward with a faith that moves mountains and defies the impossible. Shine your light so brilliantly and intensely that the forces of darkness cannot help but tremble and retreat in fear. Walk with such bold assurance that every chain of bondage and limitation shatters effortlessly in your wake. Love with a depth so profound and genuine that it transforms lives around you, healing wounds and restoring hope where it has been lost. Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5 states that, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations." This is your sacred calling that echoes through eternity. This is your unalterable destiny, crafted by the Creator Himself. This is your royal crown bestowed upon you in the heavenly realms. And now, without further delay, step forward courageously into the absolute fullness of your divine power and authority. You are unstoppable in your pursuit of purpose. You are unshakable amid any storm that arises. You are chosen, and nothing can change that eternal truth.